Welcome back to DXB today. 'Tis the season. What season? The sporting season. And we have some magnificent guests, and our co-host for tonight is a wonderful one, a personal favourite of mine. But let's get down to our guest on the sofa. He is an Indian cricket player, Indian born, and represented the United Arab Emirates and the national cricket team between 2017 and 2023. And in 2021, he was the vice captain of the UAE team. Let's welcome the legend that is, Chirag Suri.
Oh, thank you very much.
Good to see you, Chirag. Thank you for joining us on the sofa.
No, well, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me, and it's a great platform to be here. And of course, all familiar faces around, especially Sharia. So nice to be on the same couch as her, and right next to her in the hot seat. So, yeah. A day in the life.
Right? It definitely helps. It definitely helps for sure. So Chirag, I mean, look, you're representing a lovely cap there.
Yeah.
You are one of the only people who can rock that. So tell us more about that journey and being a Red Bull ambassador and part of the an athlete.
Look, I mean, it's been a amazing journey for me. I think, like he said, I've been here about 20 years or so, and I've seen cricket really evolve from the days of playing in the sand grounds and those parking lots, and we used to find space to play in Dubai, Karama, all these different places, and we would find these places and sneak out to play, find a pitch to play on, to now having these world-class facilities, this infrastructure, and the love for the game. I think that's been amazing, and I've been part of this journey, and to becoming a Red Bull athlete and representing the UAE at a World Cup in 2022 in Australia. So we're playing at the MCG. So I mean, this country has given me so much, and living in Dubai, I think, where initially a person coming from India would say that that's probably the end of my cricket dreams or my journey, because you wouldn't see it as being played professionally by anyone within the UAE or somebody who could take it professionally. But it's been nice in a way, and I've seen that, I've done that myself, and now today others look up to that, and they see a future. There's the leagues have come in, the ILT20 league, and there's other platforms where you could get the opportunity, the exposure to really take this sport forward, and being one of them, and proud to be here today.
And do you know what? One of those things that that you alluded to, seeing everyone on the dirt, sand, and the car parks and stuff like that. I still walk the streets and still see that.
Yeah.
Do you ever think to yourself, oh yeah, let me just go and have a quick knock around with those?
Yeah. I think that's the beauty of the game. It's for everybody. It doesn't allude to anybody, and anybody from whatever walks of life, or Dubai being so vast in terms of the kind of people are here. So I think it's for everybody. It's a beautiful sport, and it's given me so much. So I'm proud to play the sport here. Yeah.
I've got a question, if I can, for Chirag, because we were talking about grassroots, Lane, and how that has kind of come on and evolved in the Dubai scene. And Chirag is a great example of that, because I believe you grew up here, you went to school here, and you went over to play in the IPL, which is basically the most watched sporting league on the planet. I mean, it's insane how popular that has become, and how crazy that must have been for you to just give us an insight into what that was like.
Look,
to go over there and make your debut over there.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. There's an auction system in the IPL, and then the teams bid for you. So when I went on auction, I was like, man, it's very tough. You're competing against the best players from all over the world. You've got the Australian cricketers, the English, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, all over the world. So you're competing against the best of the best. So when Gujarat Lions bid for me, I think it was very emotional. It was goosebumps. It was my dad's dream as well, to make me a cricketer, and that's like the pinnacle. That's like playing the Champions League for like an English Premier League player. That was the feeling which I had, and you learn so much over there. I went there and started all feeling a bit like, where have I come? And it's like I was discussing earlier, it's like the MBA of education. IPL is like the MBA of cricket. So like you go there, you've ticked off that box. So being the first person from the UAE, it was a proud moment for me. Like you said, I've done my school so much, the coaches, the people around, that have helped. There's so many people been involved in this journey. So I think it was a great feather in the cap for me to, be the first one from the UAE. Till today, I wish more guys, represent the UAE in the IPL, but I've been the sole one so far. But I think we are working towards it and getting more people there. Yeah.
Speaking of feather in your cap, Chirag, I mean, I know you personally, and you're a Dubai-raised kid, much like I am. Full disclosure, I don't know anything about cricket, but I did watch the India-Pakistan documentary on Netflix, even though I don't follow the match. It was so fascinating to see the history, the rivalry, the camaraderie between the two countries. As an Indian representing the UAE, how has the response been from our community, the Indian community over here?
I think definitely very proud. See, Dubai is our second home, or now it is like a first home. Now when I go to India, I feel like I've gone away and I want to come back in 1 week, because Dubai is now home for me. Because you've lived here so long. But the way it was received by the community over here, they were so proud. Having seen that somebody over here who's taken his dreams and aspirations and gone and to compete with the best in the world. I think that was an amazing feeling. A lot of the families, the parents, all the coaches. I think it was like once you do it, it shows that other people can do it also. So it really opened the doors for those people as well, who wanted to make cricket their profession.
It's very true. Because I wanted to ask you as well, how do you see the cricket sport developing here in the country? Has it been developing over the years?
Definitely, I think it is developing, and we would like more locals as well to come into the sport. I had some of my friends, who picked up the sport. There was Captain Balushi. He's a rider, and he's also a Red Bull athlete for me. So I went and we were shooting something with Red Bull, and we started playing. And he's like, Chirag, I used to play this, all the time, with all my friends and stuff. And when I was younger, so it's good to see these kind of collaborations with these kind of athletes, because it'll only promote our sport to the local public as well. Of course, the expats love it. The India, Asia diaspora, with Pakistani, Sri Lanka, they love the sport. And recently, in a couple of days' time, we have the big India-Pakistan game as well coming up. So that's going to be a big one.
That'd be great as well.
Yeah, that is going to be a big one. Of course, I'm on one
tickets
side.
Available or?
Please don't call me for any tickets. Please don't call me.
Well,
I'm already ringing. My phone's been ringing already last week. I have no tickets available.
I do want to quickly pick up on something that you said earlier. When you were mentioning all of the best teams in the world, you went back to India, IPL, wonderful. You didn't mention the West Indies.
The West Indies.
Like, come on, man. Like, what's happening?
So I think the West Indies in the past have been the team, the team in.
Yes.
They're the legends, they're the Hall of Famers, but what we've seen is the cricket board back there isn't quite in the same space they were before.
Correct.
Yes.
And whether it's it's because it's devised and the other players prefer playing for these leagues because it's more financially benefiting for them. So I think that conflict is always going to be there, where where you choose your nation, or do you choose this international leagues structure where it's probably more financially benefiting than to represent your country. But
exactly.
For me, there's nothing bigger than representing a country, and it'll still and always be the proudest moment that I represented the UAE in a World Cup in Australia. I think that is still one of the biggest moments for me.
Yeah, thank you. Well, Chirag, I just wanted to thank you so much for being with us on today's episode.
I appreciate it, and thank you so much for having me, and best ever. Yeah.
Great.